Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Unplugged Live. I'm just waiting for Gabriel to join. Today it will be me and Gabriel. Well, we'll start our live session in a minute.
Hello, hello.
Hello. How are
Lionel.
you?
Oh, how good. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Lionel. Well, here we go again. Monday live
Yeah.
session. Let's talk about travel planning.
Yeah. So, how have you been?
Well, talking almost in a daily basis.
Uh-huh.
And yes, well, a bit tired, but in a good way because we've been very, very busy. And of course, after a couple days, a couple tours in a row, you know, our body, our
I I
mind
know. I know
feels,
exactly what you're talking about.
but our soul is very happy with this
Yeah.
gratitude and fulfillment because, we have the best job in the world, at least one of
Yeah.
the best jobs in the world. But
Yeah,
yes,
well,
well, and exactly because I'm saying we are busy, that's why, this travel planning, it's really important for
it
people who
is.
are already thinking about travel to Portugal next year, because we are getting already reservations and
Mm-hmm.
questions.
Mm-hmm.
People are already booking, so the sooner the better. But let's talk about it.
Yeah, well, in fact, you just mentioned a few things, and it's a reality we're facing. Well, just saying hi to Vitor and to everyone that is already watching us.
Yeah. Grande Vitor.
Um, well, the truth is that. So you spoke about several days in a row. Yes, I finished on the weekend, 15 days non-stop on tour. Gonna have a day off tomorrow, then we'll be 10 days on a row on tour. And this is this is the great life we're having, and we cannot at least I cannot complain.
Nope.
Quite busy around here, and things are moving. And the reality is this: um, the tour I did today, the first inquiry that I got, so the first time the person reached out to me was still in 2024.
Yeah.
And it's very common when I go to prepare the tour for the next day. So the day before or 2 days before, I go to recheck all the things that for the tours, and I go to check messages in many cases that are from last year. So this is happening in a more recurring base. And this brings us to the topic of today, that is planning ahead. And we already got requests, we already got bookings, um, and really what is going on, it's that people need to plan ahead their vacation. Otherwise the last minutes never work, or very rarely things lined up for last minute requests. So I've been really having that experience, that people more and more, they plan ahead. They plan ahead their trips, and this is the fact that we want to discuss today. Well, people should start really thinking about the next year. There's already bookings getting finished for the next year, and it's all about the travel planning. And by the way, I'm going to announce in here, I will open soon, probably during the next couple of weeks, I will open availability for some travel planning calls that I'm going to host through my
Yeah.
website. So will be some Google Meet calls. And I'm
Mhm.
going to accept bookings for those. It will be very limited. I'm not going to schedule or not going to allocate a lot of slots for that. but I'm going to open that because I feel that people sometimes they really have demands or special demands, or some ideas that sometimes they are hard to make to work.
Mm.
So it's nothing better than just to talk in a video call and to speak directly and to discuss options, to discuss ideas, to really help people planning their best journey in Portugal. I've been saying this insistently. What I really want is people, when they go home, to go back to their friends and to say that is they had a great experience in Portugal, whether it is well having a tour or not. What I really want is people to go back home and to really feel happy with the experience they had. So these are just my first insights about this, and
Mm.
I'm going to throw the ball to you, Gabriel. Meanwhile, I'm going to read some of the comments over here
Yes, yes.
to
I
see
was.
what we have
Uh,
over here.
yes, I was reading too, and to keep this a bit more interactive, I'm gonna answer now a few questions because Holly, she's saying, and she's quite right, that travel should be aware of the wildfires in Lagos area. But of course, yeah, myself tomorrow, I'm gonna pick up a group of four, I guess, four from Lagos, and the idea is going adding Sagres in the west coast. I'm not so sure yet if we can go towards that side, but in the morning I'm gonna check. There are lots of information online, so I will check this. But on the other hand, let me say something, because I quite remember the wildfires in Monchique 6 years ago, and the idea that passed many times abroad is that the whole country is on fire, which is not true. For sure, it's a big wildfire in a restricted area, in a beautiful area in the Vicentine Coast Nature Park. I mean, it's going to break my heart to see the area burn again, but it does mean people they can't stay for now in Lagos or Praia de Luz or nearby, because usually the fires they are in restricted areas. But of course, it's a good heads up, because we all need to be aware about these things that sometimes they happen and they are unexpected. Yes, Vitor, just like Vitor said, yes, already 5 days for April. I have already bookings for April too. And even recently, I didn't respond yet because, well, the person, they understand, because I remember this family of 8, they will come in June, and they're gonna hire me for 6 days in June. Um, all days in a row. I mean, I'm gonna pick them up from Lisbon, and then we're gonna spend 4 days touring southern Portugal, the Algarve, maybe Alentejo too. Who knows? Maybe we go to Seville too. I don't know. The thing is, they've been here in 2022. I remember they booked with me 1 year in advance back in 2021, and then we spent 4 days together. So they are returning. So I have already these 6 days, almost a week, of course, a week already booked for June. So, I mean, I think it's very important for people to want to save time. Like we wrote on our post, I wrote on our post, people want to save time to get the best deals, maybe the best seats on the plane, maybe the best rooms of the hotel, maybe the best hotels too. I mean, best, so to speak, but the most popular. And trust us when we say that the tourism in Portugal is booming. Every year we are having more and more visitors, and people they are aware about the best spots, the best hotels, the best restaurants, whatever. They hire the most. I'm not going to say the best, but the most popular or with a very good reputation tour guides like us. That's why we are getting already bookings. Not just us, but there's a big group of very great guides here in Portugal, and we are already getting these bookings. Otherwise, what might happen is, well, even this morning I got a message. We're gonna arrive on Wednesday, and what kind of tours do you do? I mean, of course, I had to say, sorry, I'm sold out until the end of October, so I can't do much about it. And what about other people? And then I said, I think it's going to be very hard for you to book someone now. I mean, and to be honest, I don't have time. I don't have time to call other pals. Oh, can you help? No, we don't have time. We are so busy. We have so many tours in a row. Each tour takes like 7, 8, 9, 10 hours, depending on the distance and everything else. We need to wash the vans. We need to prepare everything. We have the back office work. We have also this digital marketing, because we can't just stop doing this. And as well, we have the family affairs, right? I have a daughter. I have to pick up my daughter from school. I spend time with her. So most of us, we are very busy already. But like I said, it's not just about tour guides, because, even rent-a-cars, whatever, the sooner the better. And
Mhm.
I have to be honest, many of our guests, they really book with us, and they book 6, 7, 8 months in advance, especially people coming from the other side of the Atlantic. They do this a lot, Americans and Canadians, and not only, people are coming from New Zealand. I got two lovely girls from New Zealand, and they book this 1 year in advance. Because, of course, if I go to Paris, maybe I can book, I don't know, 3 days. No, actually, we book our vacation time there last November, December. So there's no way we should just postpone and delay it. The sooner the better, so we can get better deals. And people, they need to think about this. Without work, we're gonna skip maybe the best deals. And time is money. Time is money. So the better we book, maybe we get better deals and the best people, professionals. Of course, the best is relative, but at least the most popular people around here. I think this is common sense. Lionel, well, you wanna say something about our comments too?
No, well, sorry. Um, well, first of all, and picking up about the subject of the fires. Yes, it's unfortunate to see what is happening, and even today I was commenting with my guests. I was passing near Aveiro, where I was stuck last year,
Yeah.
uh, with customers in the car while everything was burning around and the roads were being blocked. Was kind of uh, not a nice scenario to be in, and to see what was going on. Everything went well for us, but it was hard to see what was going on around. And unfortunately, that is happening here and there. So of course, it's always good to be very careful with the situation. But we also trust quite well on those that are fighting the fires and taking care of the all the safety, all the security of the places. So they are trying their best to save everything and everyone. Back to the topic. While you were talking, I quickly went here to check on my calendar. And yes, well, during the first week of October and last week of September, but mostly first week of October, I have tours that were booked in February, in March, in April.
Same, same.
We are talking about stuff that was booked several months ahead. Okay, so 6, 7, 8 months ahead. That is normally where I get booked in the major days. Then of
Hmm.
course I manage to try to fill the gaps when people ask me about availability. I need to say, okay, I'm just available this or that day. Once in a while things work out, many times they don't. So I end up recommending a few of the places, or a few of the people, sorry, because I cannot really deliver that tour. And instead of just telling the person, I'm sorry, I'm not available, I cannot help, I try to recommend one or another person that I really trust for that. And around Lisbon, there aren't many that I really recommend from here, from my personal trust, but I try always to help the guests to get the greatest experience that they deserve. But in fact, this is really the reality. And I'm noticing another thing. Last week it happened to me. I needed to stay overnight at Porto, and well, like normally I do, I just book those hotels for me 2 3 days in advance, because okay, I don't need to book them so much in advance. They are business hotels,
Hmm.
and it was sold out. So even the business hotels that are a little bit on the more affordable side, and I'm not going to say cheap,
Hmm.
but more affordable side, that well, it's comfortable for what it is and it makes sense for what we need. They get booked, and it seems like some big tour operators, bus operators, and such are kind of booking some of those hotels all in a row. So that's where they are putting their groups sometimes. And for us, it has become harder and harder sometimes to find accommodation to stay
Yeah.
in another city. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna need a couple of nights out for well, for in a few days, and I really need to book them, and hopefully they're still available.
Hmm.
So what is going on is really this: to get the best deals, plan ahead, because otherwise things might not work the way you expected. And it's been happening to a lot of people that things are more or less lined up, then they don't reply, and when they show up, well, someone has booked that day. In my
Oh yeah.
tours, it happened a few times this year, and well, we need to work a little bit on the well, the first one to confirms and books. It will be the first one served. I get very
Hmm.
very often. I check my business, the proposals I send, and I check the in here on my list, and I have 3 4 proposals for the same day. So the first one that decides to move on and to book it, well, that's the one I'm going to accept the booking. Okay.
Of
Because
course.
we cannot hold dates
Hmm.
without a factual confirmation, and with a deposit. So this is happening a bit everywhere. And one of the examples for this kind of things, and sometimes people feel a little bit annoyed by that, it's more and more common to see reports or articles stating, by example, that this or that restaurant charges a fee for a reservation on a table. So if they are holding the table to someone, they need to make some money from it. I know this might
Hmm.
sound a bit controversial, but that's the fact.
Hmm.
And the same way, the hotels in most cases, people pay ahead. The
Hmm.
airline tickets, people pay ahead. Those kind of things.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
a lot of people might feel a little bit well, uncomfortable by booking stuff ahead of time, because oh, we might need to change plans and such. And here I'm going to be very very direct. um, in my case, and I know that most of you, and well, some of the trusted guides, we have terms and conditions. We have
Hmm.
an explanation of the rules of the deal, because yes, this is a
Hmm.
deal. Okay, people are closing a deal with a tour guide, with a tour company, with whatever. So when you book an online or an airline ticket, when you book a hotel, when you rent a car, you get a document with what we call the fine print. These are the terms and conditions. So in my case, I offer terms and conditions with a very clear refund policy. And imagine there is something that is right, kind of well, a force majeure, okay, something really unexpected. Well, I'm not going to be hard time to I'm not going to be the hard person, sorry, or the
Yeah.
bad
Yeah.
person to give a hard time to the person that is
Yeah.
well, suffering an unfortunate situation. Of course,
Hmm.
this is not a free for all thing, and it's not everything. It's valid for that, but I never had
Yeah.
issues
Yeah.
uh, with well, a cancellation. I remember at the beginning of this year, I even got a cancellation with someone sending me a letter from the doctor. Okay, because well,
Yeah. Yeah.
that person had more to worry about than really about the tour itself. And I hope that everything got sorted out.
Mhm.
So it annoys me a little bit, and it makes me sad and mad in some way to get to know that people don't trust the guides to do bookings ahead because they had a bad experience somewhere. Um, I remember someone complaining the other day that they had booked
Yeah.
something and the ship could not dock, so
Yeah.
they didn't get the refund.
Mhm.
I remember seeing somewhere someone giving a credit because of unforeseen circumstances. Okay, well, each one its own. But if the travel was here and the tour could not happen, giving a credit for 12 months doesn't make much sense. Probably that person will not come back in the 12 months. So I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think that is playing
No,
fair. Okay.
I don't.
So
I don't do that too.
so refunds, okay, it happened to me sometimes. Okay, well, sorry, this happened. We need to cancel the tour. Fine, okay, and directly, um, uh, I refund it. Okay, and yes, just to answer Victor, I probably made 2 or 3 refunds this year. That's it. Okay, but I also can say I never have held a deposit, okay? Because well, people pay the deposit and they show up and the tour happens. So not really going this way, as I've seen happening online with well some
Mm.
very known um, companies. But in
Well,
fact, people need to trust the businesses in here. Of course, there's all sorts of businesses around, and people really need to well ask for well backgrounds, ask for all the company details, all the legal details, and
hmm
there is a
hmm
cancellation policy. It is more than valid, and as you also have been saying, Gabriel, and you advocate this more than anyone else,
yeah,
there is a guarantee fund from the Portuguese Tourism Board for also for several of these situations. So
yeah,
this is well clearer than water. So people
yeah,
really need to trust this. Now the thing is, people don't know really what they want to do, and they read a lot of must dos, and they follow a lot of well trendy influencers and whatever that tell them that they need to do this or that, of course, people get confused. But then, well, people really need to trust on booking ahead and to plan their best experience ahead. And I've been having some very interesting approaches and very interesting chats. And I remember just a few days ago, I was exchanging messages with someone that was inquiring a lot about, well, Sintra. Um, and then at the end, the person just replied to me, "You might have been the first honest tour guide that I ever spoke with." Uh,
I saw it.
well, because we need to tell people the reality. Okay, I'm not going to
Mhm.
be selling dreams just on behalf of profit. And then the person comes over and gets their well their dreams a little bit frustrated. Uh, it's like today I saw a post somewhere, I don't remember which group, someone asking about a picture in Porto. Oh, where can I get this picture? And the picture was exaggerated in colors, really well
Yeah,
saturated in colors, and it
yeah,
was kind of a nice ice bucket that was thrown over that person when everybody else posted, "You cannot have that picture because that picture is so exaggerated that it seems like AI generated." In fact,
mm,
I know very well the angle of that picture, but someone photoshopped it so much that it was exaggerated. So uh, it makes me sad to see that a lot of people don't trust to book ahead because there's so many fake pictures, fake smiles, set up things to just fool
yeah,
the well people and to lead them to buy. And this it's a little bit welcome to Photoshop City. Yeah. It's a little bit like sometimes I'm walking in the street and there are some very colorful shops that look like a carnival circus. I don't know if you have those in the Algarve, but in here they are everywhere, even with some Ferris wheels with stuff hanging from it. And I
yeah,
tell to my guests, if the shop looks like a big carnival circus, run away from it, okay? Because this is just someone trying to fool you with flashy colors. So
mm,
when people well are planning their vacation, it's unfortunately common to see people falling for all these traps. But well, we are here to help, and we are well, or at least I try and you try, and well, I can speak for the three of us here, founders of Portugal Unplugged. Sergio isn't here, but I can speak for himself as well.
Yeah,
We
for
try to
sure.
be the most transparent possible and genuine possible when we tell people about what's going on. Okay,
Mm.
so book ahead, plan ahead, because things are getting sold out. And if plans change or if the conditions change, we will make it work on the best possible way. And when I'm mentioning the conditions change, I'm a little bit, I would not say concerned, but I'm really a bit, well, expectant, I would say, from what will be the outcome of the municipal elections we're going to have, with some municipalities changing mayors and some key municipalities that might create some new rules to visit. So we will need to adapt. We will need to plan things,
Always.
and of course,
Mhm.
if the plans change or if the rules change, we are here to assess. And if
Yeah.
well, the person just if the guests just say, okay, sorry, but that's not what I want. Perfect. Here is your refund. Okay.
Mhm.
So at least this is how I work, and I know that some of the trusted guides work that way. But
Yeah, for sure.
in fact, it's all about well, really putting effort to plan the vacation for the next year, because things are really gonna move very very fast. So Gabriel,
Well, yeah,
well,
you touched several points. I mean, you said it
mhm,
all. Now I have nothing to say. No, I'm just kidding. But well, about trust. I mean, guys like me, you, and so many other guys. Vitor Pais even today share a post about his reviews on Viator, whatever. I mean, if people they want to know if Gabriel is trustable, I mean, they just need to do some kind of research, LinkedIn, Viator, TripAdvisor, Facebook, different groups. I mean, everyone knows already Gabriel, everyone knows Vitor, Pedro Abrantes, Malheiro, Tapada, all these great guides around the country, right? So it's not that hard to trust. And you said it all. I mean, it's a contract. When people, they want to book with us our time, we are also deliver our time, right? Even
mhm,
today, even today, well, actually, I'm still waiting for a deposit, but the deposit, it's not even big. I asked for a deposit because, of course, I'm going to Lisbon to pick up people from Lisbon airport. I can't afford the risk to drive to Lisbon. And then people like, because usually I go the night before because I like to feel with energy when I pick people from the airport at 8 a.m. or 7 or so. I mean, I can't afford to go there and trust that people will arrive. I mean, 99%, 95% of the people, maybe they are trustable, but lesson learned. I had my issues in the past, so I don't take risks anymore. And just like you, I remember when the pandemic just started, I just refund people with 6 or 7 thousand euros or so. I don't want to keep money from people, but of course, we are also aware that some people sometimes they just change their mind like 48 hours before or
mhm.
20 the day before the tour, and then we have to be okay. So sorry, I can't accept this situation because you just harm my business too. Okay, but then it's funny because all came down to the each person core. I'm going to run a tour in October 10th. There was a couple from the Netherlands. And as you remember, we had the wettest winter in the Algarve. Amazing. So we canceled the tour. We postponed the tour twice. And they pay me 100 euros because usually that's the amount I ask for just an ordinary day tour here in the Algarve. They send me the money through Wise or PayPal, I don't recall. But then they said, okay, so Gabriel, no worries, we'll be back in October. And no worries about the deposit. You can keep it because for sure we will come for your tour. So, of course, I didn't ask for a deposit again. they just let me stay with the deposit. I would gladly send the deposit to them, but this is also all comes down to the people, right? When people they trust each other because they already know me online, they trust me, and all goes well when people they have the will to make it happen. But of course, ultimately, we are running businesses, and when we travel, and that's why all these plans in advance they are very important. Of course, we also need to read all the policies, booking, cancellation policies. Every time I send a request for a deposit or something, or I offer, or I send uh, a program, a plan, prices, rates, every time it goes my licenses, insurances, and the policies.
Mhm.
And I never forget to say that because I'm also a travel agent, not just a tour guide, we invested to be travel agent, we can guarantee you the access to a fund from the tourism board of Portugal. So if something happens to me, like imagine I can die, right? I'm not I'm not different from any other people. So if something happens to me, people they can use all the emails, messengers, WhatsApp, and they send an email to the tourism board, and they can explain what happened with this travel agent, and they're gonna refund you 100%. So this is very important too. This shows how we care about our guests, because in order to offer this, we also invested, but and also it shows that you can trust us. So another thing I want to add here. I know sometimes it's hard to plan. Some people they don't like, they don't want to waste time, they don't care, they want to trust someone. Well, there's a big realm of influencers, advisors. Nowadays, everyone can be an advisor. Some they become like gurus or something. Some other people they just give random advices. They might be good, they might be not suitable for you. Anyway, be aware that also here in Portugal, when I said I'm a travel agent, you are a travel agent, most of us, we are travel agents too. It means that officially we are allowed to build plans. But it's not just this thing about abiding the law. It's not just that. It's because we live here. We every day we are on the field. You, Lionel, you are one of the best examples when it comes for uh, um, scouting new spots. You are a trendsetter. You are a trailblazer. You've been doing a great work. So you have the knowledge. We have the knowledge. So I'm going to say this. We can help people in a better way because we live here. We feel this. I can't be a good advisor about Brazil. I've been there 3 times, but for God's sake, I'm pretty sure that some guys there, they know way more than I know. So I can pretend I'm a good advisor. Maybe I try my best to help people and I try to run a business. But, local people, native people, local people with a background, like, for instance, I was born and raised in Faro. Of course, I know all nooks and crannies in Faro. And that's why when I run a tour in Faro, people, they look at me and they say, why this town is so underrated? And then I have to say, because there's a lack of knowledge. People, they don't
Exactly.
know. Most tourists, they come here, they park in San Francisco, and then they walk around. Maybe they already know where's the beautiful Sant Antonio Street, but they don't know much more. Well, I know way more, so I can help people to make to live, to experience a better experience. Okay, Lionel. Well, here we go. 34 minutes gone
Yeah,
from 30
yeah.
minutes. But
Time just
the
flies.
important, so bottom line. Uh, do your homework, book, plan in advance. Don't be lazy. Ask us for help. We are here to help. Sometimes we are a bit busy like now, but if we don't answer in a couple hours, we're gonna answer maybe one day of tomorrow or something like that. We are here to help, and this is what we do best. This is our life. We want to help people. Of course, we also want to guarantee our own business because that's what we do. We don't have to hide that we are a business people, but this is a win-win situation. The sooner, the better, whether for you, whether for us, because of course, the sooner we get bookings, more comfortable we feel about our future too. So, well, this is my 2 cents. Lionel, I don't know if you have something
Yeah,
else
no,
to add.
you pretty much summed it all. Well, Like always, this was a very interesting chat, and well, I'm gonna
Time
post
flew
this
by.
video.
Time flew by, man.
Gonna post this on YouTube as usual. Any questions, of course, feel free to ask. Feel free to post on the group. We are here to help. As I mentioned, I'm gonna open some dates for those free planning calls. I'm gonna put them on the website. I'm still need to check my calendar, but probably there will be some first open slots towards the end of October. That's well, the earliest I can have a day or two to just sit at the desk and really get to chat with people with all of those future plannings. Doesn't mean that I cannot answer questions or reply to people with some inquiries or some questions here and there. But to really to do something well planned, I need
Yeah.
to well to be very well focused on that, because there's a lot of things going on, and I still have several tours and long tours. Curiously, this year I've been having a lot of multi-day tours, and pretty much well, they take time to plan and time to prepare. I'm going to have another a tour in a little bit over a month that we're going quite off beaten path to some regions that I really love, and this is it. So. We'll be back next week, of course. Next week I will be on tour again, but I'll make all the possible on my best to be here live with you. And thank you for watching. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the comments. Okay, so all of you that help this to create all this interactivity in here. And well, see you next week. Thank you, Gabriel, for joining. And well,
Bye bye,
have a great
Lionel.
tour tomorrow.
Bye bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Have a great week ahead. We'll be back on Monday. Bye
Thank
bye,
you.
guys.
Bye.
Bye bye.